Hey everybody, I thought I'd make one more today. This one is gamification and game-based learning. This is probably one of the ones that everybody likes to pick because everybody likes to make their classroom fun and exciting. But when you're doing gamification or game-based learning, you should know that, guess what? It should be useful and interesting and still teach the math. So it still should be rigorous. It should fun sake. It shouldn't just be CUDA. I'm sorry, it shouldn't just be like oh my God, Quizlets without anything. So I'm gonna share my screen. This is a really good one, the gamification one, because it goes through the difference between gamification and game-based learning, and then tons of options. So here we are. We are at gamification and game-based learning. And if you click this, it's just another version of it. So in search of engagement strategies, educators strive to incorporate student interests. Almost every student in the United States, we're talking 97% plays electronic video games. Now, that was back in 2008, but whether it's on their phone, on their computer, everybody likes electronic games. Not gonna lie. I was lucky enough to learn from Dr. Schrader. He's way smarter than I'll ever be. So as teachers, we want to utilize connections to make concepts relevant. In addition, games can contain elements of competition, leadership, teamwork, strategic decision-making, spatial representation, use of technology, and altruism for earning points and badges or other learning building blocks. So while these seem intriguing, downsides of this are limited training, teacher and parents or guardians' negative perceptions, challenging to assessments, of content mastery, lack of rigor, which I think is the biggest, and straying from content standards. So these are the two ideas. You got gamification, which is applying the mechanics of games. So it's a competition, a leaderboard, a point system, or badges to non-game situations. So you get points for doing your homework. You get on the leaderboard for scoring highest on the test. So that's gamification. Game-based learning is kind of what you think it is. So that's like giving instant feedback, problem solving skills. That's like who to I'm sorry. I can't think of the name of it. What is the one I keep thinking of saying? Kahoot. So it's kind of like Kahoot is a game-based learning idea. So you utilize games in the classroom. Here's the whole one. Ooh, this one's fun. This is a circle one where they get to circle around and make this really cool picture. Nice. Yeah, this one was fun. I'm just curious to which one I used as the link. But basically, the strategies for gamification, they feel more invested in the learning process and they get this intrinsic motivation. So they get extrinsic motivation for seeing themselves on the leaderboard and they get the intrinsic motivation for building stronger skills. Let's do gamification first because that's the order I have it. So these are ways to gamify your classroom. So you can post an individual grade spreadsheet. I've done this like a million times, or post period graphs. So I've done this a bunch. So what do I mean by these? So you could either have a spreadsheet up or it shows every student. I would use a number system, see their student number, and actually have all the test scores. So this is an algebra 2 class. I took out everything else because I wanted to have this, and there's the master list of the names. So this is one you can use, and just every student knows exactly their grade at all times. I would post it every week. This one I did where you can do it by period. So whatever it was, period 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is all classes combined, but I would print this out. So period 1, that's how many of each. Period 6 was way better, but I'd post this every week. So everybody knew how their class was stacking up to the rest of the classes. No A's in period 5. That was a bad class. So I would post these kind of like a leaderboard. So this is an actual leaderboard where it's not just grades, but other behaviors. So you could have citizenship, neatness, task time. These are just grades. But if you want to do leaderboards where like this student would always help each other or ask the most questions or something, you could have a big leaderboard for that. Other things are point systems, token economies. The most common is gold stars, or apples, apple stars, gold stars, things like that. I don't know why, but students love stickers. I have bags and bags of stickers. I give out stickers for everything. The smell stickers, the 3D stickers, the holograph. It didn't matter what kind of stickers. They loved it. And then math money. Here's a point system where they're given specific amount of fake money based on coming to class early, handing out papers. They had to pay rent each week, which was $1. And at the end, they could use it to buy stuff from a treasure chest, stickers, fundraisers, pencils. I never did this one, but I just thought it was really cute. And the coolest thing about this math money is that they were all mathematicians on it. See, the money all had people who did math on it, which I just thought was like really cute. All right, sorry for being a little nerdy about it. The other thing is badges. Instead of a point, you can give them an actual badge that they could wear, either on themselves or on digital. So those are all the different types of gamification. But let's do some game-based learning because this is the stuff I do a lot. So all of these are examples that I've used in my classrooms. There's so many. Endless options. Think about what seems fun for you and make sure you provide clear and concise directions as well as proper expectations to ensure your game does not devolve into chaos. First time I tried to play Jeopardy with the buzzers, it was chaos. First time I tried to do half these things, it was chaos. So make sure your directions are clear, proper expectations to make sure it's not chaotic. All right, let's get into it. Here's the first one. We are doing animal partners. So I've showed you this one before, well, if you're in the algebra class, but basically you cross out whatever ones are the wrong answer, you circle the right answer. You pick whatever animal you like to be, and that's which one you would talk with your partner. And it's really fun because you have to circle all the wrong answers first and then write your reasons why, and then end up with the right answer at the end. Amigo Bingo, I've used a ton. So they got this bingo board like this, and it really helped me talk about racism right away because of this image. So it was a safe way to bring it up. How did Amigo Bingo work? Each box, because my classes were so big, all the students didn't know each other's names. So they had to fill in the box with a student with a different name, no erasing the names once the game has begun. Write your own name on a note and bring it up. So this is just how to do it for one of them, right? They had to name the vocab word. Whoever answered it, you got to fill it in. So everybody's rooting for everybody else to get the answers right. And I wouldn't just do this one day. These bingo boards, right? I'd have these bingo boards throughout the year. And like anytime a person answered a question right, their name would get filled in. And so there'd be prizes based on it. And guess what happens if you got a prize? You could make another bingo board. It was really cool. This helps students learn their classmates' names. When the board is complete, they get to use to answer questions. They root for each other to get it right. The winner, you could do four corners blackout or use it multiple times. I use this board with this stereotypical depiction of a Latina to bring up stereotyping in a safe way. If you want free regular bingo cards, here's a bingo baker. You can make them real easy using this website. There's a bunch of websites you can use where you can just put them right in and it would generate the cards. But I like the one with the names the best. These are all free websites. And here's an entire database of free puzzles, but you can't put words in. But if you go here and you just put in math, you got tons of free puzzles. There's word searches, there's bingos, there's hundreds of these. So, all right. Here's the Breakout EDU. It's a free platform that contains many games of math learning. One is HMS Terror. Oh, I gotta log in. That's okay. I'll just explain to you what it is. It's a video intro and it's escape room puzzles that you solve. A lock chest open, you make prizes come to life. So this is a free platform that has a bunch of games. I like the Terror one. Column game, I've used a bunch. Here's an example. You're playing against somebody, column 1, column 2. You're sitting next to each other. Whoever gets to the bottom first wins. So you're racing against one another in columns. Whoever gets to the bottom fastest knows mistakes. It's a head-to-head challenge. This one's the creating image ones. There's the pumpkins. You can do ones where you're shading in colors. I'll let it load. Students create a geometric image using the answers. So all of these are really cool, where you can create images based on all of these forms. It's a fun game for students. After finishing, students can determine if the image has reflectional symmetry. Always try to make it harder. Always add more rigor to it. The last picture can link can be utilized for any holidays. Oh yeah, so this one I've used for like every different holiday. I did one for Thanksgiving, Christmas, every holiday, Father's Day, and they created pictures. Oh, it timed out. I guess this one's no longer working. That's okay. Bound to fail at some point, right? Putting all this together. You can hang the pictures in the classroom. Desmos are great. I've used this a bunch. There's all these lessons. You've got the good thing about Desmos is no matter what Desmos thinks you do, is that you can match lines. You have to create the lines by changing the equations. It's fun. But when you look at it, you view it, you get to see every student's name. You get to see every student's name on it. Here, let me show you an example. If you go to the dashboard, all the students' names come up over here, and you get to see how many of them got it right or wrong at one time. And then you could like literally pause the class. All the students' names come up over here, and you can paste it. And you can also do this and change the names. And you can, if you don't want to like call students out for getting it wrong. It's a great website. Here's an example of one of them. So this is here. I want to hit them. I got to change the y-intercept to, I don't know, what, -2, maybe? I lost my x. And they have to just do this and change the graphs. But there's a million. There's Function Carnival. There's tons of them. I like Function Carnival. I like Transformation Golf. That was Marble Slide. Fly Swatter is great. So Fly Swatter is where the students get an answer sheet. They play against one other student. They have actual fly swatters. They slap it. Whoever slaps it first gets the point. And you're just showing them different definitions. So if we were to slideshow this, which one is supplementary? You got to slap that one. And then it shows up. So which one's 90? A right angle. Which one's an acute? That one. So it's just like a fun thing for students to do. They like swatting the fly, using the fly swatters. Grab bag is really fun. So here's an example of a pattern grab bag. They get this separate answer sheet, but on it, they pick from different bags that have problems, rookie, all-star, MVP. Each question's worth different points. When 5 are completed, they can move on to another set of harder problems. This one's with sequences and series. And they just get to move on and do the harder ones as they go through it. Here's Inferno. So Inferno is cool. Once they ask the question, they get to slide the eraser across the screen, and wherever the eraser lands, either 312, -75, 22, -11, 0, 25, or 9. So students will be randomly selected to come if they get it right, and then they get the points. So they wherever the eraser lands, they get the points. Notice that like towards the end, it's 312, it falls off, they get nothing, and it changes right before it's -75. So they have to slide this to see where it's going to land. They're all just different problems. Jeopardy, there's Jeopardy Labs. Here's an intricate version that has all the sound effects and everything else, which is fun. but I used it with buzzers. Each student in the group, everybody has a whiteboard. All members must show me the correct work to get points for an upcoming events. This one's got sound effects, daily doubles. Sure, you've seen Kahoot. It's a multiple choice game that brings point values and scores. And you could add more game-based elements like Look It is like Kahoot, but Look It, there's a game attached. So there's one that's called cryptocurrency, which is fun for students. There's one that's called here, why don't we just play one for fun? So we can hit a sign. So the crypto one is fun. I don't like these. Well, I guess we can do the brawl. No, we'll do the tower defense. So you can assign it, sign now to do the vocab. Round goal is 20. So this is it. We can have players play. It's just like Kahoot, but there's another piece to it. Like I know they really like students really like the crypto one because they get to hack into each other's stuff and steal it. Let's enter nickname. I'll just pretend I'm playing. Let's do an abandoned mine at normal level. Now let's just try it. All right, a variable who's not dependent on another one. Independent variable. Nice. Solve to put a number into an equation. Evaluate. Output or y, that's the range. Okay, so I get to start playing the game, moving my way through. I don't know, I guess I should have looked it up, but as you solve it, there's answers for everything. The fishing one's fun. There's a bunch of them, but these are just examples that I made. Here's making practice fun. This is all algebra and a little bit of geometry, but it's got nothing but crosswords and stories and statements and connecting the dots to make images. It's just really good for students. All the answers are at the back. The matching game, I've done a ton. So these matching games, you can either do it for this, learn a vocabulary by cutting up pieces, put them on separate pages, create a saying, have students holding up note cards. There's all these different ones. Making a match, matching properties, matching ideas to real objects. So that stuff's really fun for students. The mazes are really common as well. You get it right by answering the question to get to the end of the maze. And here's some extra problems. So mazes are also a good way. The onion game is actually really hard. It's a group review activity, and they're all in different pages, and you have to peel each page off like it was an onion. This one I did really bad at. I've tried this one, and it just never went well, probably because I couldn't set it up right. So here's the first layer, and you go deeper and deeper into the onion as you get to the one that's the very center. They're all wrapped around each other with a rubber band. They peel back the onion as they attempt a problem from time to time. This one's really simple. I would do this all the time, where one student volunteers to come up to the board to put a step on the equation or solve a step, and then they get to pass the marker to any other student in the class to step up to the equation. Guess who? Super fun for students. So round one, your polynomial is, and then you can ask questions like, is it a monomial? Is it a binomial? Is it degree 3? Is it degree 0? Is your leading coefficient positive? What's your leading coefficient? So you could just do round one, you write what it is, and your partner guesses, and you do the same thing. Round 2, round 3. It's just really fun. It's just like Guess Who, but you're playing against a partner. There's more additions than just polynomials. Quizlet's super fun. I'm sure you've seen it before. Students get to turn into animals. Just make sure you're on the teacher mode. If you're not on teacher mode, you can't do Quizlet live. Here's just a bunch of classes where I've used Quizlet before. But yeah, they're really fun for students to do. The best thing about Quizlet, only one correct answer is shown on the screen, so they actually have to work as a group. Snowball fight is a full class game. Everyone plays against each other. You create a varied worksheet problem. Students can throw a snowball at another by attempting a problem. If they have the correct one, the student has to solve the next one. If it's incorrect, it's thrown back to the original student. So here's the worksheet that goes along with the snowball fight. Here's a tic-tac-toe. I have tons of these. It's a 4 in a row, across, up and down, side to side. So if they get it right, they either are an X or an O. They love the tic-tac-toe. I have a tic-tac-toe for pretty much everything, but it's just a grid with worksheet problems, and they just complete it as a tic-tac-toe against each other. And trash get ball is probably one of the most common ones. You get it right, you shoot the ball, you shoot a piece of trash into the trash can, and if you make it, you get the points. And finally, the worksheet race. So the worksheet race, I have tons of these, but you're racing to the top. So you start at 1 and you pass the sheet behind you. You pass the sheet behind you. So you're working as a row going back. And as you do the problems, they have to go up, and whoever is the last to complete it wins. So each student has to complete a problem starting at the bottom, and they increase the difficulty as they go up. There's only one per row, and they pass it back to the next complete. If so, they have to check it, and if they got it wrong, they pass it up to the person. So they check each other. The last person in the row brings us to the front, the fastest row with all the correct answers. Note other students can help in the row, but that student at the desk must be using the pencil. So there's tons of them. We just went through like 10. So what is your job? You get to pick 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 activities to look through. So pick any of the activities above. So pick 5 activities. You rate the engagement. Why'd you select it? Rate its ability to teach the math. Why'd you select it? Would you use it? Why'd you make the choice? A strength or weakness and your impression. And then what do you get to do? These are all video examples. You get to make one. You explain both of these. Explain the benefits and challenges for this. So you get to describe one that explains it, and then you get to make one of them. You get to make your own gamification one and your own learning activity. So you don't have to make it. Students of mine did Battleship and things like that, but you have to do one gamification and one game-based learning activity. And that's the whole thing. So I hope you found this useful. People choose this one because they think it's more fun than just working with standards and stuff. So you have to rate 5, and then you have to do 2. You have to make one that's gamification. How would you gamify your classroom? Are you making leaderboards? Are you putting up grades? And one game-based learning activity. All right, well, enjoy it, and I hope you have a great day.